Hello, Capricorn. I just went walking in a rainstorm, so I'm kind of soaked right now. This is going to be your bonus reading for July 2018. I realize it's the middle of July right now. It is what it is. I'm actually on vacation right now. That's why I was out in the rain. Normally I live in an alpine desert where it hardly ever rains, and when it does rain, it almost never rains for very long. So, although I have heard that it is raining there while I'm away, go figure. So, I feel like, for whatever reasons, I thought that it was going to thunder and shower super hard during the Sagittarius reading, but it didn't quite. And for whatever reasons, I guess you guys need the extra water. That makes sense to me. In astrology, Capricorn is the opposite of Cancer. And in astrology, Cancer rules the stomach, it rules the mother, it rules breast milk, it rules food, being fed. And as a result, one of the rulerships of Capricorn in astrology is actually starvation, believe it or not, or going without, having to go without. And that's the reason why Capricorn's saying in astrology is I use, because it's all about using what you've got to make the best of a situation without wasting anything, because you know what it's like to go without. That's why Capricorns are so tough. So the Capricorns really work so hard for their families and the people that they love, and they work so hard towards their goals without much coming easily to them, and which is why they appreciate the concept of hard work and working towards goals is because oftentimes that's the main way how they actually manifest things. So I'm shuffling the cards now, right? So I'm not wasting your time. So this is going to be for love, love, career, and health. And I'm going to do a 6-card spread. This is in Capricorn, Sun, Rising, and Moon's best, highest good. May there be some kind of message in here that will be important for them to hear. Okay. Let's pick the cards now. pick a couple of extra cards. I'm going to do one more shuffle. Whoa. Okay. All right. Top 3 cards. This is a strange love and romance reading. Hopefully this makes sense to you. First one on the top is Justice. Middle top, 4 of Swords. Final card on the top, King of Cups. Didn't he show up in your general reading? Interesting. Some of you may be in a relationship with a scorpionic type individual, or possibly have an interest in a scorpionic type individual. Bottom row, first card, Empress. Wonderful. This is a really nice card to get in a romance reading. Middle card, I may pick a clarifier for this, but I'm getting a message about this, is Death. Don't be freaked out. This isn't necessarily what you think it means. Okay. Final card on the bottom is the Ten of Cups, which is wonderful. This is also a very, very nice card to get in a romance reading. And then I just pulled some extra ones because there's 3 major arcana cards in here, and actually even in these 3 there's a 4th one. So the extra clarifiers, or another perspective for other Capricorn individuals, is the Princess of Wands. And these flew out together upside down, which is unusual for me because I don't voluntarily have upside down cards in my deck. I always write them right side up before I shuffle. So this is very interesting. I may even pick another card to go just to explain these 2. And they're both Pisces cards, interestingly enough. The first one is the Knight of Cups upside down, and the Hanged Man upside down. I always get a kick out of the Hanged Man upside down because he's actually right side up. And he's got a funny hairdo because of that. Okay. Let me try to make sense out of this. So these 2 are together in the past, in your past position. Justice with the Empress, both major arcana cards, so this is a huge deal. And they're both Venusian cards, by the way. They're the 2 aspects of Venus. Venus is a planet that rules 2 signs. It rules Libra and it rules Taurus. This is the Taurian version of Venus, which is all about earthly creature comforts, sensuality, good food, good drink, soft blankets, comforts, having abundance, feeling fully satisfied in your body. feeling nourished. This is the Libran version of Venus, which is all about fairness, equality, peaceful communication, and also decision making. Also things like mediating, settling differences, deciding what to let go of and what to keep. Highly interesting, you guys. You may in the past have been in a relationship with someone where there was a highlight on Venusian energies, both Venusian energies, mental and physical. One is a masculine sign, which is Libra, is actually an air sign, which is a masculine sign. And Venus also rules Taurus, which is a feminine sign. So it's the feminine and masculine versions of Venus. And both have to do with pleasure and peace and comfort. One is mental comfort, and I'm trying to think of a specific word that's popping up. It's not coming. So you may have been involved or are involved in a relationship with either a Taurus or a Libra, or someone who shows these qualities in one. This could be one individual that has both sides of Venus in them. Or this may be the role that you have been taking in relationships. Perhaps in order to have the comforts that you've needed and the stability that you've needed, you have fully cultivated the art of conversation and communication in your relationship in order to maintain peace and comfort where both of your needs are met. We'll get more into it, see if anything more comes out of that. Now, presently, is the Four of Swords over Death. So, let me focus on this one first. This is about peace of mind and rest, resting your mind, not worrying, not stressing, taking time out to rest. Perhaps you've been doing so much or trying to accomplish so much that you have depleted your energies, and so within the relationship you both need a break together. Perhaps a break from each other, just to get back to yourselves again, not necessarily to end the relationship, although that could be a possibility, as you have had to do some reflecting in order to decide whether you should let go of this relationship or not. I'm not really sure why. That's one possibility. Another possibility is that perhaps there have been so many things going on that both of you have needed to take a break either together or apart from each other in order to come back to yourselves and transform the relationship accordingly, so that you let some old patterns go and not allow them to continue in the relationship. And part of that is me reading these two together. Death is about transformation, letting old patterns go that no longer serve you, and letting things lie at peace, letting certain things end in order to continue the relationship and cultivate the relationship. It can also be that you're going through some major life experiences together at this time. Perhaps some hard times have fallen upon the two of you, and it's important for you to both rest so that you can continue. This is also a Scorpionic card. There's a lot of Scorpio and Taurus in here, or Mars and Venus. This is a Scorpio card. This is also a Scorpio card. And this is a Taurus card, which is the opposite of Scorpio. So depth of feeling, a deep connection. Perhaps you're involved, perhaps you could even be the Venusian partner, and your partner could be the Scorpionic partner. If that rings true, then your partner is the one that is somewhat poker-faced or tough emotionally, on the outside anyway. They may be a huge softie on the inside. This obviously can be a man or a woman. That's up to you to decide. You know your situation more than me. Perhaps you have a partner who is extremely resilient emotionally, or tends to hide their emotions because they need to carry on. And perhaps you're the Venusian partner that is the nurturer and the peacemaker in the relationship. It can also be reversed, where you are the Scorpionic, emotionally reserved partner, and your partner is the Venusian partner that is the nurturer and the caretaker or peacemaker in the relationship. But between the two of you, you balance things out quite nicely, and you complement each other in a very good way. And like I said, this is a very deeply felt soul relationship with someone, where perhaps if you've been together for a long time, you guys have withstood the trials and tribulations and transformations of a very long-term relationship that has managed to survive and still maintain romance and inspiration in it, which, if that's the case, you are so lucky. Do you know how rare that really is? And there's a feeling of sadness or bittersweetness in this, where perhaps you are afraid that this relationship is, obviously all relationships end in the end, right? Because ultimately we all die. By the way, I'm not saying that your partner is going to die. It's a poetic analogy, or an attempt at one. So basically what I'm saying is, this is the real thing. This feels very genuine and true. This feels like this is your saving grace and your water that you need to feed your soul. Otherwise, you would be starving. But this fulfills all your needs in one way or another. Not to say that your relationship is perfect, but it's withstood the tests of time and managed to survive, where you still have true love there. That's just one way of looking at this in one scenario. This can also mean that if the relationship has ended in the past, there's a very good chance that you're going to be drawn back together again, because you can't forget about each other. You haven't been able to find anything like this since then that fulfills you in this way. Perhaps you guys got too caught up in other things and you forgot on how special this relationship really is. I think that's all I could really get from those 6. And so I pulled extra cards for the other Capricorn people that are possibly single, or possibly don't fit this storyline of this first story. In that case, I got the Princess of Wands, the Knight of Cups upside down, and the Hanged Man upside down, which makes him right side up. Both of these are Pisces cards. So some Capricorn individuals could be possibly involved with a Piscean individual or a Neptunian individual. And in the beginning, I'm getting that there was a lot of passion, there was a lot of excitement. This person carries energy that you do not carry yourself. And so it was very fulfilling and exciting at first because it's an energy that is almost foreign or exciting in its difference from you. And you may have even jumped the gun a little bit where you got carried away with fantasies of where this relationship was possibly headed or where it could go. You may have even jumped the gun and started thinking about things like having children with this person. But you may have, this is a really specific message and it makes me wonder who's watching. Perhaps after the excitement kind of wore off a little bit and you started to see things a little bit clearer, you may have realized that this person is actually kind of childish or is kind of a unreliable, running around all over the place, starting things and not finishing them, or just is still learning. This person may even possibly be much younger than you, or just is somehow immature, or their inner child is more apparent in them than their inner adult. Let's move on. With these, this is clearly showing the imbalanced version of Piscean energy, which is unreliability, being too caught up in things like fantasy or dreams so much that they are ungrounded, unpredictable, not stable, even though they speak sweet words or romance you. And that probably had a lot to do with why you were so swept up in the beginning, is that they may even believe that they mean well. They may even believe their own, I'm almost tempted to say the word lies, even though they may believe their own lies, or were swept up in the illusion of the relationship themselves, and so they made it seem so real because they actually believed it themselves. But this person is so ungrounded or so up in the ethers or the spiritual realms that they are not any earthly good for you. And being a Capricorn individual, you do need someone who is solid, or at least is able to speak your language or understand where you're coming from. You're such a practical, goal-oriented individual, or such an earthly, solid person, that this type of energy gives you the heebie-jeebies, honestly, and makes you feel like you don't know what to expect, or you don't even know if this person is for real or not, which I'm tempted to say they're not really for real. They may even be so caught up in their own dreams that they think they're for real, but they're actually not. So this is really specific, you guys. So this can also be that perhaps you are a single parent who has children, and your deciding factor in letting go of this possible relationship or the beginnings of a relationship is you realize that they were not a good influence for your child, because your child, all children, need a certain level of needing to know what to expect or needing some kind of stability in order to feel safe and comfortable. And something about this person is just not stable. And so even though you were tempted to possibly hang on to it because of how it made you feel in the beginning, you quickly realized it wasn't necessarily going to go anywhere. And so you may have dropped it. Really interesting, you guys. That was totally out of the blue. So I'm just going to pick one more card out of curiosity for any other Capricorns that are watching where neither one of those scenarios made any sense to you, because it certainly didn't make any sense to me. So let me see if I can come up with one other storyline. Okay, here's another specific one. This is so odd. Makes me wonder what's in the air or who's watching. Okay, first one is the Queen of Wands. Second one is the Hierophant. Third one is the Princess of Pentacles. Okay, I'm getting another specific story. So, first, this may be somebody that you are interested in. It doesn't have to be a woman, it can be a man too. In which case, if this is somebody that you're interested in or involved with, this is someone who is a self-made individual that has risen to a place of authority or self-confidence out of sheer effort and overcoming obstacles and knowing what they want. This is a type A individual, I guess they would say. Someone who is not confused, someone who knows exactly what they want and knows how to go after what they want. This is also someone who is nurturing, kind, and empowering. I see this as being a really good influence for you. And if this isn't somebody that you are interested in, this can be an aspect of yourself that is activated by this relationship or this person, where you feel more confident, you feel more secure in yourself, and you feel like this situation with whoever this is can actually go someplace. And another piece of this story is that possibly you went to school or you took classes to learn some type of healing art, maybe massage school, or acupuncture school, or learning how to be a counselor, and you met this person at school. And again, there may be something in here about possibly being a single parent with a small child or a child. And if that happens to ring true, this person is an extremely good influence not only on you, but on your child or children as well. And not only that, this feels like an extremely healing relationship that fulfills you on levels that you weren't really sure if you could ever find that. Another way of looking at this is that through empowering yourself, you have formulated exactly what it is that you truly want in relationships. And once you have formulated exactly what you want in relationships, that's enabling you to actually manifest one that is along the lines of what you want. So, interesting, you guys. Okay, let's move on to career and money. Okay, Capricorn, this is going to be a short 6-card reading for your career, jobs, or money. The reason why I say career and the word jobs is because not everyone has a full-blown out career. Some people just have jobs. Some people work in sub shops. Some people work in movie theaters. I wouldn't necessarily consider that a career unless maybe you're the manager or the owner of it. And some people have full blown out careers that they have been doing in a particular field for a long time. And so I just wanted to clarify what I mean by jobs, career, and money. So let's go by 6 more cards, or 6 cards in Capricorn's best, highest good. Capricorn Sun, Rising, or Moon sign for July 2018. You hear that thunder? I don't know if you can probably hear that, huh? I am so loving this weather because it's been so hot and sweaty and humid and sticky and smelly for the past 3 days, and it actually hasn't even been that bad for Massachusetts. It can get a lot worse than what it's been. It's just, I'm just not used to it anymore, even though I'm originally from New England and I'm from Massachusetts. I grew up here, so it is in my blood to accept it. It's just been so long since I've lived in humidity. I live in the desert now, and I've been there for the past 8 years, so even though I can tolerate it, it's not exactly my favorite feeling. But now that it's storming, it feels so nice in here. It smells good, and it's a lot cooler. Okay, here we go. 6 cards. Ooh, this is very nice. Very nice. Wow. You have 4 major arcana cards out of 6. So, sorry, let me move around. I'm on a hardwood floor. Okay. First card out of the top 3 is the 4 of Swords. Didn't you just get this? The thing about channeling is that I never remember what I said after I'm done. Sometimes I remember certain things, but second one on the top is Ace of Wands. The third on the top is the Sun. The bottom, the Chariot. This is super exciting, you guys. The middle one on the bottom is the Star. The final one on the bottom, and I am not picking extra cards because I'm not going to ruin this. It's so wonderful. The final one is the Magician. This is going to be real short and sweet. So, the first combination in the past is the 4 of Swords over the Chariot, which makes complete sense to me. This says that through meditation, or the equivalent to meditation, which is resting your mind, taking it easy, realizing you need a break in order to find some much needed clarity, or just to receive. You know, the analogy of meditation is to still your mind and not necessarily think of anything specific, just to allow whatever messages to come through from your intuition, or just to receive inspiration in that manner. And I'm getting that you needed some kind of a much needed break or rest in order to get more clarity on where you would like to go from here and what your future goals are, which is the Chariot, by the way. The Chariot represents your goals that you would like to take yourself to and how you are going to go about taking yourself there. And the Four of Swords is meditation, resting your mind, and having inner peace or peace in your mind so that you can get centered and mentally healthy in order to proceed from there with enough energy. And also just to get mental peace and clarity. So you definitely have some goals that you have realized or things that you would like to take yourself towards. And that is, it's really pouring outside right now. The Ace of Wands over the Star. And so this is about actively starting a new journey with career, jobs, or money. Starting a new career, a new job, or a new way that you incorporate in with what you already do, or a new idea, or a new action step to take. And this new step, or a new job, or a new career, or a new idea completely inspires you. You are so excited and inspired by this prospect or this venture, beginnings of a new venture. Whatever was going on before that you needed a rest from, perhaps it was something that ended, and perhaps it ended in a way that made you feel confused or like you needed to clear yourself out first before you could continue. And I'm really proud of you that you took the time to rest, because you guys are well known for sometimes overworking yourselves to the bone, even when you know you need rest. But any mature Capricorn person knows that when you rest, you actually end up with so much more energy after you've rested than if you didn't rest at all. It's really good to see that you're taking care of yourself. So this looks wonderful. This looks like this is a dream that you've had, or a new dream that you have formulated that just completely inspires you. And not only that, you have the divine on your side with this one, which means it's not destined for failure in any way or any blockages or things in the way either. This should go rather smoothly. You have support from the divine on your side. And any confusion you might have, or if you need new ideas, they will come very easily. So in your future, this is the major arcana ace, the Magician. That's another one. You have this one, the Ace of Wands, which is taking active steps towards this new adventure with career, money, and jobs. And this is a major arcana version of an ace, which is starting a new thing. This may even be your own business where you're doing some kind of entrepreneurial work, or your own thing where you are either the boss or the leader or the owner, or you're organizing it yourself. And you are fully realizing your capacity to create what you want, and there's nothing stopping you. And this is bringing you total fulfillment and happiness. This is not only something that inspires you, this is something that you fully enjoy and you look forward to in the morning, which is so awesome, you guys. This is amazing. This may have something to do with possible outdoor activities, outdoors, or children, or creativity or art, or some form of performance. Maybe even something to do with travel. So that looks great. Okay, on to the next one, which is health. Here I am. Okay, so now on to Capricorn sun, rising, and moon sign. I'm sure you've gotten that by now. And this is for your mental, emotional, and physical health. Okay. Another 6-card spread, of course. And we'll see what comes out. Capricorn's best, highest good for their emotional, mental, and physical health. Okay, let's see what comes out. Whoa. Okay. That one flew out. All right. The first one on the top 3, the King of Pentacles again. Second one, the Princess of Swords. Third one, on the top, 8 of Cups. Bottom row, 9 of Cups. Second one on the bottom row, 5 of Pentacles. Didn't you get this before with something? Was it love? I can't remember. Maybe that was in the Sag reading. Okay, the third one on the bottom is the King of Swords. And just as I was about to put the whole deck down, and I thought it was done, this flew out by a foot, upside down. Another upside down card. This is really rare. Usually I don't get these at all. When they do come out, it's highly significant. And this is your card. This is your major arcana card, the Devil. Don't be freaked out. And it's upside down. So I asked for another card to go with that to help me explain it. And I got the King of Cups, and I believe you got him before too, huh? So, concerning health. With your mental health, I'm getting that you're fairly healthy. I'm not getting that you are completely caught up in too much worry or anxiety. I believe in your general reading you had something going on with anxiety and worry, but I'm not getting that in here. I'm getting that you're pretty clear-headed and you know you're thinking straight. Emotionally, you're feeling pretty decent. You may be overdoing it a little bit on indulgence of things. The only emotional issues I see going on is a hesitancy to take a leap of faith into the unknown. This may be related to that career stuff we were talking about, or it could be related to relationships. But I don't see this as a major blockage. I just see this as a hesitancy. And eventually, you guys being so tough, you're not going to let anything stop you from going towards what you truly want. You guys are not usually the types to hang back when you know what you want. You go after it in a slow, steady manner that involves a lot of planning and practicality, but you are not the types to let obstacles stop you, even if they're emotional obstacles. So I don't necessarily see this as being a major issue either. I am seeing in here something about not taking care of your body properly. Perhaps you're not drinking enough water, or you're not eating enough food, or there's something about feeling left out in the cold with either relationships, or feeling as though you are possibly not acknowledged for your talents or gifts as much as you would like to be. Or perhaps you feel cast out, like there was something you were involved in where you felt slighted or cast out, which you feel was highly unfair. Almost alienated. And so there may be some stuff lodged in your physical body that makes you feel a lack of security. But concerning this that flew out, I could read this as either things getting much worse or things getting much better. It could be that you are finally overcoming addictions or addictive patterns or old patterns that you were stuck in. And it's almost like your guides or the universe forced you out of that scenario. Whether you were willing to do it or not, it forced you out. And even though it made you feel betrayed or cast out or unacknowledged, it actually ended up to being a blessing in disguise, where now you can fully move on. But this could also be possible knee or joint problems. But if that's the case, I feel like it's getting better. Either that or it's getting much worse. And this can also be feelings of finally seeing sides of yourself that you refused to see before that hold you back. And finally being strong enough to be able to acknowledge those things without judging yourself or harshly or feeling shame. You're finally accepting all of yourself. Either that or you really are refusing to see something about yourself that you need to see. You hear that siren, maybe that's a message. Maybe that's almost an emergency at this point. You have to do this if you want to move forward. And a lot of what has been holding you back is not acknowledging your own emotions or your own desires or your own emotional needs. You may have been shoving your emotions down so far down that you didn't even realize you had these emotions, and now they're spilling out of you, whether you like it or not, and it's forcing you to look at certain aspects of yourself. But ultimately, I see this as being a really good thing. And it's not only a letting those things out finally before it turns into poison. A creepy, gross analogy to what I'm saying here is something kind of like having I can't believe I'm about to say this, having like a pussy boil trapped underneath your skin that refuses to erupt, and so it festers and festers and festers and festers until it could possibly get infected and spread to the rest of your body. And that devil upside down is almost like just through synchronicity or chance, it gets punctured by something without you meaning it to, and so it's able to get out of your body before it gets to that point. You may have not even been aware that that thing was in there, but when it comes out, even though it makes you aware of all of the things you weren't aware of before that were poisoning you slowly, it ends up being a really good thing because it gets out. Sorry about that. That was really gross. But I'm likening that to your emotional body. There's been something lodged in your emotional body that perhaps you were aware of, but you refused to acknowledge it, or you simply really weren't aware of it. It was unconscious. And now that it's accidentally been punctured, and I feel like it was accidentally punctured by this guy with his sword, who might have been a boss or a colleague or a dear friend that you thought was a dear friend anyway, who possibly punctured you a little too harshly, and it made you feel like that. Cast out, unacknowledged, unhonored for all of your hard work or effort towards whatever this was. But ultimately, I see this as being a really healing experience in the long run, even though it's painful in the beginning. And it ends up maturing you in ways that perhaps you didn't expect. So that's what I got, you guys. Hopefully that made sense and helped in some way, and many, many blessings to you. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are some of the toughest, most strong individuals I've ever met in my life, besides perhaps Taurus and Scorpio. And we need you. We need you to be there in times of crisis. You guys are the one, some of the few people that are able to keep your cool in crises, and I really appreciate you for that. Thank you. And I hope this helped, and I'll see you in August. Okay, bye.